What if the Roman Empire never collapsed? Alternative timeline series.
The Battle of Adrianople in 378 AD is often considered a key turning point in Roman history, marking the beginning of the decline of the Roman Empire. However, instead of focusing on this late moment, let's go further back to an earlier and potentially more decisive event, the Battle of Teutoburg Forest in 9 AD. What if Rome had triumphed instead of suffering a devastating defeat? Could this have changed the fate of Germania and strengthened the empire for the centuries to come? In this scenario, Roman commander Varus, aware of Arminius's deceit thanks to his scouts, chose to fortify his position in favorable terrain rather than continue into the ambush. The disciplined Roman formations denied Arminius the element of surprise, forcing a direct confrontation. The Roman heavy infantry, supported by archers and cavalry, launched a decisive counterattack, breaking the Germanic lines. Arminius, seeing his warriors falter, fought desperately to rally his forces. Amidst the chaos, he charged into the thick of the fighting, determined to turn the tide. However, surrounded by Roman soldiers, he fell beneath their relentless advance. Arminius met his end as a warrior, under the shadow of the forest he had hoped would be his triumph, his final breath echoing with the fading hopes of a free Germania. This victory allowed Varus to secure Germania, extend Roman influence to the Elbe River, and eliminate the threat of Germanic uprisings. After Varus's victory at Teutoburg Forest in 9 AD, Germania was pacified. Augustus saw this as a major achievement before his death in 14 AD. Tiberius, his successor, focused on consolidating Germania, reinforcing the Elbe, building roads, and integrating the population. During his reign, the empire remained stable, with governance improved and corruption reduced. By 43 AD, Rome stood strong, its northern frontier secure and its legions ready. Emperor Claudius, eager to expand Rome's influence, set his sights on Britannia. With Germanic auxiliaries now loyal to Rome, Claudius launched the invasion, extending the empire's reach further into the unknown lands. In 43 AD, the Roman legions, led by General Aulus Plautius and supported by Emperor Claudius, prepared to conquer Britannia. With Germania firmly under control, Roman forces included seasoned Germanic auxiliaries led by Volanus, a former chieftain loyal to Rome. The Romans landed on the shores of Britannia, facing fierce resistance from the united British tribes led by chieftain Caratacus. The first major battle occurred near the river Medway, where Caratacus attempted to use the river as a defensive line. Claudius, anticipating this, ordered a night crossing with Volanus leading the charge. The Germanic auxiliaries launched a surprise attack, overwhelming the Britons and allowing the Roman main force to cross. The battle was intense, with the Britons putting up a determined defense. However, the disciplined Roman legions advanced steadily. With their initial defenses broken, Caratacus withdrew his forces, as the Romans continued their advance inland, marking the beginning of Rome's foothold in Britannia. After the swift and decisive Roman victory at the Battle of the Medway, General Aulus Plautius advanced deeper into Britannia with his 40,000 troops, confident yet cautious. Caratacus, refusing to be defeated, shifted tactics, harassing the Romans with guerrilla strikes, targeting their supply lines, and slowing their advance. Despite these setbacks, Claudius secured his gains, fortifying positions and establishing supply outposts to maintain momentum. Meanwhile, Caratacus rallied more warriors, uniting the tribes for a decisive confrontation. He amassed nearly 70,000 fighters, preparing for a major stand on Salisbury Plain. Learning of this, Plautius knew he had to act. He advanced to meet Caratacus, understanding that the fate of Britannia hung in the balance. Both sides prepared for a final, decisive battle, the outcome of which would determine whether Roman control could be established or if Caratacus could drive the invaders out. Morning sun rose over Salisbury Plain as General Aulus Plautius's 40,000 Roman soldiers stood ready, their disciplined ranks glinting in the light. Across the plain, Caratacus led his 70,000 British warriors, vastly outnumbering the Romans. Caratacus unleashed his forces first, sending 3,000 chariots charging into the Roman line, followed by a massive wave of infantry. The impact was immediate. British warriors smashed into the Roman shield wall, and for a moment, it seemed as though the Roman lines might break under the sheer weight of the onslaught. Plautius, knowing that only discipline could hold the line, commanded his men to hold formation, while he ordered archers and artillery to target the advancing British. The air filled with arrows and heavy bolts, striking the Britons and creating chaos. Still, Caratacus pushed forward, leading from the front, rallying his warriors to press harder. Slowly, the Romans began to bend but did not break. The fighting was fierce, with neither side giving an inch, and it seemed the superior numbers of the Britons might finally overwhelm Roman discipline. Will the Romans endure? At the critical moment, Plautius ordered his 4,000 cavalry, hidden on the flanks, to advance. The Roman horsemen swept around both sides of the battlefield, slamming into the rear of Caratacus's forces. The sudden assault threw the Britons into disarray, and despite Caratacus's attempts to rally his men, the confusion spread too quickly. The Britons, despite their bravery, began to fall apart under the relentless Roman assault. Caratacus tried to order a retreat, but most of his warriors were surrounded. The battlefield turned into a slaughter, nearly 30,000 Britons were killed, and another 10,000 were captured. The Romans suffered about 12,000 casualties, a significant loss but manageable for the empire. As dusk settled over Salisbury Plain, General Aulus Claudius stood victorious. The disciplined Roman legions had emerged triumphant, crushing the native Britons.
We march on Camulodunum next. It will be the heart of Roman rule in Britannia.
Claudius, a seasoned commander, ordered his soldiers to fortify their position and prepared to advance on Camulodunum, the most powerful city in the region and a key symbol of native resistance. This victory is only the beginning, he declared. Caratacus, the charismatic leader of the Britons, retreated into the hills with only a handful of followers, his dream of uniting the tribes shattered. Camulodunum soon fell, marking the consolidation of Roman power over southern Britannia. The city became the administrative center of the new province, and the eagle standards of Rome flew across the land, securing Britannia as part of the empire for generations to come.
After securing Britannia, Rome shifted focus inward, where Emperor Claudius faced growing threats from within. His wife, Agrippina, sought to secure the throne for her son, Nero, through manipulation and plotting. In 54 AD, Claudius, warned by his advisors, moved decisively. He had Agrippina arrested, exposing her conspiracy to the Senate, and disinherited Nero, instead naming his biological son, Britannicus, as his successor. Claudius then initiated reforms to curb the power of the imperial household and limit the influence of the Praetorian Guard. Upon Claudius's death in 56 AD, Britannicus became emperor. Unlike the feared reign of Nero, Britannicus ruled wisely and in cooperation with the Senate, fostering stability and prosperity. His reign marked a turning point, preventing the excesses of autocracy and creating a balance between imperial authority and senatorial influence, leading to a more stable and enduring Roman Empire. Britannicus, having ascended to the throne in 56 AD after the untimely death of his father, Claudius, faced an empire at its peak but also with growing tensions beneath the surface. The Senate, though cooperative, remained wary of another young emperor. Determined to prove himself, Britannicus embarked on a series of reforms to stabilize the empire and solidify his rule. Britannicus married Julia Valeria, a Roman noblewoman from a prominent Gallic family. This strategic union strengthened his ties with both the Roman elite and the provinces, ensuring loyalty from Gaul and reinforcing his image as a capable and unifying leader. Britannicus also continued his father's focus on the provinces, particularly Britannia. He sent additional legions to fortify the Roman presence and initiated public works projects in Londinium to strengthen its role as a key military and administrative center. These projects included the construction of a major bridge over the Thames River, which became a vital artery for Roman control and trade in the province. Britannicus's ambitions went beyond Rome's physical infrastructure. In 58 AD, at just 17, he launched the Pax Nova, New Peace, a wide-reaching program aimed at integrating the diverse cultures of the empire. The Concordia Populorum decree brought provincial elites into the Roman administrative system, quelling unrest in Egypt and Germania while fostering cultural exchange between Roman and provincial peoples. By 60 AD, now 19, Britannicus made a bold move to decentralize power. Recognizing the rising importance of the eastern provinces and tensions with Parthia, he expanded the authority of governors in the east and established a new council in Antioch. This ensured quicker responses to eastern matters while keeping Rome as the sole capital, maintaining the empire's unity. Britannicus's forward-thinking strategy reinforced the empire's control over distant regions, all while preserving Rome's central authority. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and check out our channel for more content.